It was with great honour and pride that 4 of Rhodes University's best rowers represented South Africa at the 28th World University Games in Korea earlier this year.
About 2 months before the event, we were selected to go to the selection regatta up in Pretoria, where we had multiple races on the Rhodes Dam. We were then chosen to represent South African university sport to go over to South Korea and compete in July.
To ensure they perform at the highest level, the team trains twice a day, 6 days a week, and includes compound movement routines in weight training, use rowing machines, and do practical training on the water.
From day one, our coach said that we have to aim to get gold, which means we have to dedicate all our time just to try and win on the water, to try and better ourselves and out the boat.
Competing at the World University Games gave the lads a chance to test themselves against the best rowing nations in the world and work on their performance.
So Tristan, what's your best memory of the World Student Games?
I think my best memory was just the racing, the competitive side. So there were a lot of nations and the racing was a lot more intense and a lot more sort of involved than what we used to here. So it was quite tough for us over there, but also just awesome experience.
The team is going for gold at the annual Boat Race Festival as well as at the USA National Sprint Championship next year. The Rhodes team hopes their international experience and hard work will pay off on the winner's podium and in the national team selection.
Go and make it so, gentlemen. Congratulations to Rhodes University. In fact, 2015 school sports year has been phenomenal.
Absolutely,
We've seen some incredible stand-up performances. Plenty of boys and girls around the country producing some sensational results, not just for themselves, but for their schools, and I think also on an international stage.
Yeah, man. And our man with the finger on the pulse, Brandon Yates, is in studio this morning to reflect on some of the standout performances that have occurred over the last 12 months. And I'm going to ask you first up, what have you made of the performances this year?
Well, like you guys said, it's been a fantastic year. A number of school sports teams have performed exceptionally well locally, and then, of course, a couple of teams and individuals represented South Africa, from their schools and did really well on the global stage as well. So overall, it's been another great year for school sports.
Inspiring stuff as well. So who is the standout sports team of the year? Can you pick one?
Well, there's definitely been a few, but I think just starting off with the boys, the Paarl Boys High First 15 Rugby, they had an incredible season. They played 21 games and didn't lose a single one. Sure. And they faced teams like Grey Bloom, Grey PE, Uffies, St Andrews, so some of the best sports teams in the country, so they had a sensational season. And then on the girls' side, and then on the girls' side of things, we had Orania Macy's first team hockey. They won 44 and only lost one, and I'm assuming they lost to a team from Russia that was banned for steroids or something. Because I don't know how they lost the game. They scored 200.
That's not official.
They scored 235 goals and they conceded only 17, and they finished number 1 on the ranking. So another great year for them as well. I think it's their 5th consecutive year at number 1, so they've done really well.
Let's hope this means future qualification for our hockey teams to the Olympics.
Fingers crossed.
Make it pro, please make the sport pro.
What about individual athletes? What would you say?
Once again, another a huge list of standout performers. From the boys' side, we had 16-year-old Gift Leo Klela from Tuck Sport High School. And he went on to win gold at the 100-meter sprints in the Youth Commonwealth Games in Samoa. And he ran 10.20 seconds, which is a new South African youth record. So for a 16-year-old to run sub 11 is pretty impressive. Yeah. And then from the girls' side of things, we have St Mary's DSG Kloof pupil Erin Gallagher. And then just before I read her achievements, bear in mind that she's 15 years old. She has already represented South Africa at a senior level. She won 2 gold medals at the SA Nationals, and she also represented South Africa at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. And there she made the semi-finals on the 100 meters freestyle. So she's also definitely one to look out for in the future.
You're barely getting started. Now, when we look back over some momentous performances, is there one standout performance, one game, one encounter that really stands out for you?
I think one that we can all remember is definitely the Western Province 95-0 win over Eastern Province in the Craven Week final this year, where I don't know what happened there, because Eastern Province were the defending champs. They had the 2014 Craven Week Player of the Year, Kerwin Bosch, on their side, and just from kickoff, Western Province basically scored off the kickoff and didn't stop, and they produced a record-breaking upset victory. So that was definitely my standout performance of the year, for sure.
I think the key thing was keeping Kerwin out of their half. And that seemed to work.
I think after the game, they said that was their tactic. As soon as they shut down Kerwin's out-of-hand kicking and that kind of thing, they were able to play their running brand of rugby, and they did exceptionally well.
Well, let's hope that spirit filters upwards through EP. That's all I'm
Exactly,
gonna say,
yeah,
yeah.
especially in the hockey as well. That incredible team record as well. But yeah, I think that we can all agree that the performances on school sports levels has been very, very inspiring, and we hope to grow, like we said,
Goosebumps
going in the
stuff,
future.
man.
Yeah.
Yep, well, we've seen plenty of teams and individuals excel locally and internationally, and I think 2016 promises to provide us with even more fantastic action to look out for. So thanking Brandon for all of his efforts this year.